I think the most important thing to think about as a mother who is returning to work who wants to breastfeed is, what are your goals? What is most important to you? What do you want to make this experience look like? And once you make that decision within your mind, then you need to go to the people who can help you make that happen in the workplace. They may not be able to accommodate everything that you want, but they may be able to accommodate parts of it. And I think as a woman who is breastfeeding, you have to recognize that the employer is going to have some concerns about how much this is going to interrupt their flow of business, how much this is going to disrupt the work day or the workplace or the other people who are there. And I think that you need to think through those issues first so that you can address those questions head on and reassure them that this is not going to interrupt the work day or the workplace or make people feel uncomfortable. This is just something that I'm doing to nourish my baby, and it's important to me, and let's work together and find a way to make it work. So I had to figure out something that was going to work, that wasn't going to be, I guess, an interruption to my colleagues, an interruption to my committee schedules, and was going to meet the needs of my child. So the first thing I did was I spoke to the chief of staff for our House Speaker, Joe Hackney, and I explained to her that I would really like to have a room set aside in the legislative building so that I could have a private caregiver come in and take care of my baby, and he would be right there on site so that I could breastfeed. As I explained to the speaker, you know, I want to come back to work, but I can't do that unless you help me with my goals. And by helping me achieve my breastfeeding goals, I can help you achieve a productive workplace by coming back to work sooner. It worked out really well because I had a lot of flexibility and was able to come in and feed him. Sometimes I needed to pump, you know, because I had a committee meeting or session scheduled, but it really did work out well. I don't think anybody knew that there was a baby here just by being adjacent to the office or walking down the hallway, but I knew, and that made me feel a lot better to have him close by. You're nourishing your child and you're bonding with your child, and that's important, whether you're pumping and taking that time away from your workday to pump, or whether you're able to have your baby on site. Whatever you work out, it should be something that you feel comfortable with and that enables you to nourish your baby in the ways that you need to nourish your baby and feel comfortable coming back to work. It takes discipline. It requires you to stop what you're doing and relax your entire being and focus on your baby and nourishing your baby. And that took some practice. I think it was harder with Madison than it was when Jackson came along, baby number 2, but I'm glad that I did it. It just took a little while for us to both adjust to that. Several of the women having become aware of my need to breastfeed my baby and thinking about the fact that we have lots of women's advocacy groups that come to our building, and the women often bring their infants with them and they need a place to change the baby or nurse the baby. They banded together and were able to get a room set aside for breastfeeding and to furnish it comfortably so that women who were visiting our building, which is a public building, could step in and privately nurse their babies and have that opportunity to nourish them and bond with them, even while they were down here advocating for the issues that were important for them.